Okay, guys, we're almost ready to start. We need some time for preparation. And Sean, I think we're ready. We can start.
Okay, fantastic. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Guessing people are from all over the world here. My name is Sean Alimov. I'm the founder of the NFT Club, and I'm a director of Connect.Club. So yeah, delighted to welcome you all. Today is a very exciting, interesting session. We've got a fantastic speaker faculty for this event. We're going to be talking about metaverse monetization methods. So it gives me a great pleasure to first and foremost introduce our speakers. We've got Naveen, who is co-founder and CEO of SNIB. We of course got Spottie WiFi, the best CryptoPunk rapper alive. Okay, and of course we've got a lovely Leanne reference. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Is it Leanne?
Lane.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, as
No
a product lead at
Oh.
Dapper Labs and co-founder of CryptoKitties. Thank you. Welcome to the event. And Fatime Munfared, founder and chief metaverse architect at Space DAO. Is Rakesh with us, by the way?
No,
See
Rakesh won't be joining us tonight.
Excellent. Okay. So so for those who don't know, Connect.Club is the unique audio and video social networking platform that's exclusively dedicated to everyone actively engaged in crypto use cases such as NFT, Metaverse, and DeFi. We are the world's only gamified video and audio social networking platform. So we're certainly disrupting the whole scene, which is dominated by audio-only platforms such as Twitter Spaces, Clubhouses, and now LinkedIn as well. And within our communities, it's all based on shared knowledge, shared experience basis. So it's a community-first approach. Everyone on this platform has an interest in those crypto use cases. Please join our Discord. You can do that by tapping on my avatar. I'm here. Let me raise my hand. There you go. So if you tap on my avatar, in my bio, the second hyperlink is Connect.Club Discord. I also would like to connect with all our wonderful speakers. Naveen. Oh, Naveen, we already connected. Yeah, me and Naveen, we're one step ahead. Spottie WiFi as well. I'm connecting with you. So tap on my avatar. Next to my photo, you will see a connect button. Allow me to also connect to Teme. And of course, last but not least, Aline. Okay, there you go. So perhaps we can start by the introductions by the speakers themselves. Beauty first, as they say, ladies first. So Aline, why don't we start with you? Please introduce yourself.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm Lane. I was one of the co-founders of CryptoKitties. That was sort of the beginning of my foray into crypto in the summer of 2017, when people were really excited about ICOs and we were thinking about how to make that practical and applicable to people. And so we thought the only way to do that was going to be put cats on the blockchain, because the internet loves nothing more than cats. And so we did. We launched CryptoKitties. That subsequently broke Ethereum, which was something that we certainly couldn't have anticipated. And the community was pretty pissed about, understandably. They felt like we were taking over the network, which was used for very important financial transactions, and just bloating it with cats. But it illustrated some really key problems with how the infrastructure was unfolding and how these platforms, in that case Ethereum, were going to service mainstream users long term. And so ultimately solving those problems led us to create Flow, a different layer one blockchain that's designed to be performant and highly usable for developers who are dedicated to building experiences that make up what we're all referring to now as the metaverse, home to assets, identity, and experiences. So thank you so much for having me. It's really great to see everybody here, and longtime lover of the entire crypto space, but my time now is primarily dedicated to building up the Flow ecosystem. So excited to see all of you here.
I was cracking up laughing. This was so funny how you presented it. I don't know. I've got so many questions about it. I'm so glad you're here. We definitely need to connect after this event. No, absolutely. Welcome, Lynn. Thank you. Fatima, you next.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm Fatima. Thank you for having me here. Really excited to be here with everyone. It is actually my first time speaking on Connect.Club, so this is exciting. Yeah, and I'm founder and chief metaverse architect at Spaces DAO. I was into the space around 2017 as well, but mostly just like on a personal level, not really practicing in it because I didn't find a way where I could connect my creative side to the blockchain technology. And then with the movement of NFTs and the metaverse coming into the technology and being built on it, it was just really a moment where everything clicked for me. And I started to see a potential of me professionally practicing in the space. And then I started to do some NFTs, one-on-one NFTs, and also to architecture in the metaverse. We're like literally designing spaces on different platforms like Decentraland, Sandbox, Somnium, Crypto Voxels, and it started from there, and then it just went into building a business and a startup that is dedicated to this full time with architects and get together to. We believe we're bringing value to those metaverse platforms by design. So happy to be here, and yeah.
Oh, the pleasure is ours. Do you know how interesting it is today? There were a couple of sessions. One was dedicated to the top CEOs. I also met this lady that drives the movement of female meta leaders. So it's great to have you right now on this panel. I feel like today was a special day to meet wonderful female leaders. So next, we're going to Spottie WiFi. I mean, do we have some music from Spottie WiFi we can play? You know, this is like the best CryptoPunk rapper alive. Do we have your music
Yes,
here?
guys, we have Spottie will perform here on the stage after the panel discussion right before the Q&A.
Oh, did I spoil the surprise? I'm sorry about that, but because I'm keen to hear it. We're doing a first international event on 29th of May on this platform called Connect.Club. 5 stages, 30 international artists. We already got the record label from Germany, I believe, that's confirmed the support. So 3 of them will win the contract with them. So yeah, Spottie WiFi, tell us about yourself, eh?
Yeah, hi, thank you for having me. This is also my first time speaking on Connect.Club. I'm super excited to be here. Basically, I'm an artist, a songwriter, rapper. I was doing music full time several years ago and pretty much got burnt out by the music industry. Took several years away from music, working a day job. And then during coronavirus, sort of had to find other options because I didn't have my day job anymore, and started learning about NFTs. In February of last year, I purchased a CryptoPunk, and at that time I noticed that no one was really doing anything creative with their CryptoPunk. You know, there wasn't any CryptoPunk comic books or people doing much other than using it as a Twitter avatar. And I decided, you know, this is really an interesting thing for a musician, because if I were to give my CryptoPunk a name and a backstory and use music to tell that story, I would have a built-in audience of CryptoPunk owners and NFT collectors and things like that. So that's what I set out to do. Put out my first song as Spottie WiFi in April. and introduced myself to the world, to the NFT world, with a song called I'm Spottie, and then just kept putting out more music throughout the summer. And by August, I had an album. I sold the album as an NFT, sold 2,000 NFTs with a vinyl record and with a copyright license to the music and a few other innovative mechanics. And it sold out right away, earning 60 Ethereum in revenue in 60 seconds. And ever since then, this has been my full-time job.
What's your opinion about Eminem dropping close to $500,000 on the Bored Ape in January? Was it to stay relevant? Was it status? What do you reckon?
I don't think he's too worried about staying relevant. I think a lot of, I think I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way. Although
no. I also didn't mean it. It's just different artists, music artists gave me different feedback. We've got a large music arts community on here, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just interesting to me. I think he has a lot of friends in his circle that are getting into this. Obviously Snoop Dogg is very into NFTs, and
Yep.
He has a relationship with Snoop Dogg and with his son, who is sort of Snoop's leader of his metaverse strategy. And I think he was just, I think these guys are just trying to be ahead of the curve and not get left behind, more than trying to stay relevant. I think they just see it as an opportunity and probably as an asset as much as anything else. I haven't heard of any plans for him to release music using his Bored Ape, at least not yet. But I think a lot of guys, a lot of people, they see it as an investment first, and then they start to think creatively about it after that.
We're talking about monetization, so I thought I'll throw it out there. Anyway, last but not least, Naveen. Naveen, how you doing? I felt like we interacted briefly already.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, I've turned my camera off because my kids always try and photobomb. So I've had to turn it off, but I'm good. I'm very new to this space, definitely no expert. And for anyone that suffers from imposter syndrome, that's how I feel right now, sitting amongst these giants on stage. But I'm hugely excited about the momentum that's building. Truly grateful to be part of such a, I guess, an impactful cultural shift towards empowering digital ownership. As you say, Sean, I'm the CEO and co-founder of SNIB. We, in a nutshell, help customers verify ownership and authenticity of luxury items for reducing fraud and counterfeiting. And that's essentially, based on brand and IP protection by applying NFT-linked virtual or real-world NFTs, virtual renders of luxury assets to authorized sales channels, whilst adding asset management utility. And that's the real kind of value proposition that we provide beyond other solutions. We're not just a wallet, we add asset management utility as well.
Do you know what, Naveen? You remind me the head of product at Nike, Ken. He also, when I first time spoke to him, he's like, I'm not expert. I think I'm more of a enthusiast. And then he drops like a proper slang. This is how you do it.
You're building me up too much now. You're building me up too much now.
No, all right.
That's a big fall. That's a big fall.
Yeah, no, it's interesting what you say. Well, listen, we're talking about the monetization. I think we all want to kind of hear your thoughts on how to, monetize in the metaverse. So my questions, let's start in the same order. How people are making money with metaverse?
Yeah, so maybe I'll start at the highest level, and then we've really great folks here to add detail. But it really does come down to, the metaverse is in many ways is a place that people go. And so people are starting by creating and selling land. We saw that first with Decentraland on Ethereum, and now we have 3D programmable multi-chain metaverses like Matrix World on Flow. And that really is helping people establish the idea that this is a place where you go as an independent agent and you look for what you're interested in, you find your friends there, and it's home to totally different projects and communities. And so there's sort of that literal real estate aspect where people are establishing their place in space. The second big thing is people are citizens of the metaverse, and they create their identities, avatars, and PFPs or profile pictures there. And you know, like Spottie WiFi told us about CryptoPunks, that's a huge one. That evolved into other things like Bored Ape Yacht Club. And then now we have Doodles and things like Flovatar, where people are really deciding exactly how they want their own rare attributes to be reflected in their profile picture. So there's, you know, some of them are very generative and some of them are more defined by the user. It's about establishing who you are in that space, and projects are issuing for people for the tools to create their own based on how they want to present themselves in the world. The other big thing in the metaverse is things. So that's NFTs, and especially art, which I think Spottie and Fatima are best positioned to tell us more about. But you know, just people coming to bring things, their creations together. Especially music. I think music is going to be a phenomenal one. We're seeing Record Shop go live on Flow, where the priority is putting content in a marketplace that better serves its creators and fans. And Spottie WiFi should definitely tell us more about what it's like being a creator in music. Yeah, like people are absolutely making money by issuing their own unique creations and sharing them with their friends. And the last thing, and this is probably where there's the most room to run in the metaverse, is experiences. And so that's sort of tying all of these things together, establishing a space, having people who have established identity there, and then they bring their things and they engage in active experiences. And so this is the most complicated to build. We're seeing, you know, a lot of teams put a lot of effort into building games, but it is quite complicated. And what's cool about this is that you get to use the standards that are native to blockchains. The idea that you issue non-fungible tokens, fungible tokens, or different products that are entirely consistent across experiences, and people can add on functionality to them. So the ability to compose projects together against those standards is making really interesting experiences come to life. And I think we'll see a ton of monetization around the fees of engaging on, like, you know, player versus player challenges, or the collection of different assets in order to complete sets and showcases. And so tying together the places, people, things, aspects of the metaverse into an experience that people can engage in socially with their friends is something that we're just seeing the earliest inklings of in some ways, but I think has a lot of room to run, especially when powered by the standards that really are sort of the demarcation of what's cool about building on a blockchain. And so in all of those cases, there's ways to make money, both buying, selling, trading, and issuing new assets.
I love that. Anybody wants to add in? Like maybe people have their views, our speakers maybe give their views on what are the most popular digital asset categories in your opinion. Fatima?
Well, I mean, I would have to say maybe lands is and PF. I think the most popular is actually like PFP collectibles. So PFP style NFTs are probably the most popular, but I would say that lands is one that is very up and coming right now. And it's actually a huge debate as well about, you know, lands and whether it should be something that you require, like you buy, or whether lands should be free, because, you know, the metaverse is supposed to be open and accessible. So this is a huge topic that everyone's talking about, but I actually believe there's space for both of them. And I just wanted to build on a little bit of what Lane was speaking on as well, like with experiences. Please. Because I think experiences are really the best way to bring all of these things together and to help monetize all of them together in one place. So for example, at Spaces, we're actually dedicated to creating those experiences within different metaverse platforms. And one of the projects we did that I thought like really brought everything together quite nicely was a concert and festival space in the sandbox. And this was dedicated to musicians and people practicing in the music industry that during the pandemic, for example, could not be able to perform concerts in real life. So they were moving into virtual platforms and virtual like metaverse platforms to do those, like, for example, what happened with Fortnite and Travis Scott. And that was something that I thought was a really cool way to monetize as well. So you have this industry that is moving there, and the artist is earning money through that. So that's a way to monetize for the artist. There's a way to monetize from the organizer of the whole thing, and there's also a way to monetize through selling tickets, selling NFTs during the event. So we had a whole area of NFT shopping area kind of thing happening inside of that experience. And so I think those experiences and how they can bring different ways of monetization into one unique experience for the user, that's a really cool way to monetize, and that's one we're seeing happen a lot with different kinds of them. So this example that I gave was for the music industry. You have it with NFTs, with art galleries moving into the metaverse. We've seen like cookie shops moving into the metaverse. We've seen all sorts of things, and it's really exciting to see how each category of brands or companies are just finding their way of how they fit into that and how they can monetize on their products that normally they are doing this through the physical goods, and now they're doing the digital, and that connection between the digital and the physical through the phygital products is also really interesting.
Okay. Naveen, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, no, I think I definitely agree with that. I think if you look at the way that fashion brands are leveraging metaverse, so you got Burberry, Vans, Nike, and Artifact. Prada did a capsule collection with Adidas. They're all at the moment they're all capsule collections. No one's really, as far as I'm aware, everyone's dipping their toe in it, but no one's kind of gone full blown into creating NFTs for all of their products. I guess maybe IWC, they've started to produce their warranty certificates. They're all NFTs now, and you get a one-for-one digital copy as well of the product you buy. But yeah, so Sean, were you talking about the
Sorry, I think we lost you, Naveen. We lost you in the metaverse, Naveen. Naveen, come back. See, that's what happens in the metaverse. But let's come back to Spottie WiFi. Look, we had Oana Roxandra here and Sebastian Bourget. Oana, you may have heard, she's the EVP over at Warner Music, and Sebastian Bourget is the co-founder of the Sandbox. They appeared on this platform. It's the first time ever people could see them together in one place. And when I say publicly, this is an invite-only platform, so we had like about 40 people in the room at the time, which they truly enjoyed. But I wanted to kind of ask you, as a musician yourself, for your art, do you see NFTs and the metaverse concept as an additional revenue to what musicians currently have, rather than labels or platforms? Which I think, like Spotify, I believe they take like more than 90% of the profits and keep it to themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, Spotify and the streaming platforms, they don't pay much. The artists that are making money on, like the artists that are earning a living on Spotify are generally going to be artists that own their master recordings. And they're getting millions of streams on Spotify, which is a very small percentage of artists, extremely small percentage of artists. When I sold my NFT album, I generated 60 Ethereum in primary sales instantly. That was almost $200,000 at that time. That was the equivalent of 40 or 50 million streams on Spotify. At that time, at that time I had fewer than 10,000 streams on the whole internet, not even just Spotify. I had fewer than 6,000 followers on Twitter. I had 700 people that bought those 2,000 NFTs, so it really became a case study for the 1,000 fan theory, and the idea that you don't need millions of fans or millions of listeners if you just want to earn a living doing what you love. We believe that we need millions of fans as musicians, because the music industry is designed to sell advertisements on platforms like Spotify. It's not designed to reward the creators, unfortunately. But I do think that NFTs are changing the paradigm because, you know, it's very hard to sell an MP3. It's very hard to sell music if you're thinking of music as just a commodity. Music is available for free on YouTube in the overwhelming majority of cases, or it's available on Spotify for $9 a month. But with an the thing to keep in mind is an MP3 only allows the owner to listen to your music. But with a smart contract, I can deliver much greater value than just the ability to listen to the music. I can deliver a copyright license so that you can monetize the music. I can deliver exclusive access to digital experiences, IRL events, physical and digital merchandise. I can even give you access to me as a person, you know, or influence voting rights over career decisions that I need to make. So I do think that NFTs are here to stay in terms of the music industry, because artists understand that it is a very daunting task to try to sell the ability to listen to the music, because that is something that is overwhelmingly available for free. But now that they can get creative and think of other ways to deliver value to the people that want to support them.
It's a very interesting point. Naveen, welcome back. Long time no see. You're muted at the moment. Okay, we'll move on. What do you think the main consideration or challenges for creators and entrepreneurs when choosing the right business model? Is that right if we come back to Spottie WiFi on this one?
Sure. You know, I think the challenge for brands or businesses entering the metaverse is a similar challenge anytime they're considering how to use a new technology. You know, I think it can be very shiny or sexy, or just a bright, shiny object where brands feel like they need to do something just for the sake of doing something. A lot of times they have an agency or a digital agency that maybe doesn't even fully understand the potential, but they understand that there's an opportunity to increase their scope of what they're getting paid to do, or their billable hours, if they can pull their clients into the metaverse. But I think the thing to consider is, you know, what is your purpose as a brand? What is it that what is your reason for existing? What is the reason that your community or your customers that they rely on you, or that they shop with you, or they participate in what you're doing? And how can the metaverse elevate that? You know, for some brands, you know, that might mean you need to build you need to own land in the metaverse, and you need to build digital stores, you know, to complement your brick and mortar stores. But that might not be the case for everyone, you know. I think it's really just understanding purpose and doing something in the metaverse that advances that purpose, and not just doing it for the sake of novelty. You know, back when the iPhone App Store opened, every brand thought they needed an app. You know, every brand was building an app, and then you just had a graveyard of apps that, you know, why does this brand need an app? You know, what is the reason? What is the intention or the purpose of this app? And I think this is similar. You know, it's really understanding what value you're bringing to your consumers in the real world, and how does that translate in the metaverse? Because otherwise, if you don't start there, you're really putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, Spottie WiFi, I think you absolutely nailed it there. Like, it's so much about, are you creating true unique value? Is this something special that people didn't have access to before? And I think the question that a lot of people don't think of asking, but that you can uniquely ask when you're building in the metaverse or on a blockchain is, do I need to create something new, or can I add to something that's there? And to use CryptoKitties just as an example, when we launched CryptoKitties as sort of an initial IP, that created a sort of initial spurt of community, but the product didn't stop with what we built. Immediately, a whole bunch of people started building on top of our smart contract and they added like accessory games where you could put hats on your cats. They added racing games where you could like use your cat in a little, exactly what it sounds like, you'd race them around a track, and it was sort of based on their attributes. And so I think it's really important to consider, are you, to Spottie WiFi's point, like, are you someone who's putting out net new content that people are going to want to purchase because they are very excited to hold it and you're offering them something they've never had access to before? Or are you adding to an existing community and developing a really compelling niche for an existing community that lets the product that's already there and the community that's already there sort of evolve and understand it in a different way? And that's a question that you don't normally get to ask yourself when building a product. You kind of always have to start from scratch. To the App Store example, like, everyone felt they had to build their own app, but here it's so easy to build in a business model where you are taking fees or getting royalties from an existing product when you add value to it. And that's a really interesting way to sort of de-risk entering the platform and sort of start your foray into the ecosystem and build off of an existing community rather than bootstrapping your own. And that's a really, that question of, do I need to build it myself or can I add on to what other people are doing, is a really interesting one. And it's such a compelling part of the like collaborative open ecosystem ethos that the metaverse is championing. And so I think that part's really cool.
I think I'm glad that you actually jumped in on it, because your project was launched in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, is it?
Yeah, CryptoKitties did launch way back in 2017. That was the first time we saw people building on top of it. And arguably, that was the first time we sort of saw inklings of the metaverse. And now there's lots of other projects that are doing that. And obviously, we've come up with a whole name for this idea of composing against standards. But it's, in many ways, I think, one of the most compelling aspects about building in this ecosystem.
Well, you had an amazing run, didn't you? I mean, that was a great experience, I bet. You know, and look at it. It continues to thrive several years later.
Yeah. CryptoKitties was a pretty amazing experience. It was arguably sort of cut short by the limitations of what we were launching on Ethereum. Like the performance ceiling was just so much lower than we expected. But we're excited to bring CryptoKitties back to the world on Flow, and when we can support more use and a broader ecosystem of projects on top of it. And more recently, I'm not as focused on CryptoKitties. The team that I work with launched NBA Top Shot earlier last year, and that was the product where we took moments from the NBA games and turned them into moments that people could collect forever. And we saw the exact same things that Spottie WiFi is talking about, where issuing content as a creator, whether you're a creator of music or a creator of memorable moments, is there's a totally different relationship that you get to engage with your fans on. It's not that they can't watch the games in other places, it's not that they can't hear music in other places, but it's a totally different interaction when people get to own part of that experience. And I think that extension of sort of fandom and relationship between creator and peer is going to be really cool. And so that's been the most compelling part of my career recently. It's been a lot of fun.
Can I ask you a question, by the way? You know, the whole concept of play to earn gaming has gained like a really tremendous momentum in 2021 and continues in 2022 now. And a lot of people kind of contributed to the success of taken. The play tested well before even your project was launched in 2017. Is that right?
Oh yeah, like play to earn that's existed for as long as gaming has existed, I think, in many ways. I mean, I'm not a gaming expert. Someone here maybe would be better positioned to speak to it, but that existed well before us. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know. Anyone wants to? Naveen, are you still with us? Can you? There you go. Hey, you're back.
I thought I'd just drop in. What are we chatting about?
We're talking about barbecues, and summer times in Cyprus. Like come to Ayia Napa, let's party. We're talking about monetization in the metaverse.
Yeah.
what do you think are the challenges and considerations should be for the creators and entrepreneurs when choosing the right business model? Is it the change? Is it, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's, if you apply sort of real world examples to what you're doing, it's not, I don't think it's too different. I mean, certainly as far as I'm concerned, what I'm doing with Snib it's not too different. You just got to, consider your consumer needs, your value proposition in relation to that, your revenue models, your team, the strength and composition of it. I mean, you've got to look at Moonburst to see, how much an impactful team can affect your project, your competition, your traction, your funding model. We're bootstrapping at the moment, but this opens up a whole new world of kind of tokenization and NFT drops to get your funding, as opposed to traditional kind of VC and angel routes. I guess the main difference I found is community. So, in the real world, you're applying your marketing principles to building a community which is very fragmented. So you're building hype, and loads of people are interested in your product launch, but they're kind of very fragmented, not really talking to each other about it. In this space, it's really different. I guess the closest I can relate to that is like crowdfunding, so Kickstarter or something like that, where you put a project up and the people, your investors are building the hype together. But here it's just like on a completely different level. If you think like 4 months ago, I was just dabbling in LinkedIn, didn't really have much of a presence there, and within 4 months, my community on LinkedIn has grown hugely, and I'm now talking to people who can really open some doors for me, and I think that's definitely a consideration if you're going to enter the space, because it's not possible. A year ago, I'd love to have spoken to Lorenzo Bertelli from Prada, but there was no way it's going to happen. Whereas now, every day, I'm making connections on LinkedIn and speaking to people, and it feels like it's possibly achievable one day. So that's a real big difference. And with regards to challenges, I guess it's just interoperability. Loads of things are being kind of created in siloed economies, but it's still early days, and we'll move towards a sort of more shared economic system, I guess.
And listen, you and I connected. Forget about Lorenzo. Like this how on LinkedIn. For me, it's like bigger than that one Roxandra from One and Music. It's great. Fateme, can I ask you a question then, if you don't mind? Well, actually, I've got a couple of questions for you. I see you've set up a DAO. We are contemplating the concept.
I think something happened, right?
All right, I believe while Sean is getting back to us, Sean, please advise if you're back.
Yeah, I just did Naveen on you guys. I just disappeared and I came back. So, can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Yep. Yeah. Fatime, we're contemplating ourselves at Connect.Club to set up a DAO. So definitely would be interested to hear, your feedback on what you have done. We seem to have a lot of people that offering us to set it up, but I'd rather speak to the practitioners that already done it. So it'd be great to hear your feedback. But my question to you is, I was reading recently about the Meta's and the plans to monetize Horizon Worlds. Have you heard of that?
Yep, I have.
Yeah, so I feel like they're putting forward a very aggressive 47.5% take rate of all in-app purchases. Do you think this is something that we should expect to be the industry standard? And it's a question to all the speakers, please.
I absolutely don't think that we can expect it to be an industry standard, and I think the industry has actually proven that they're not really going that way. So I kind of actually put a list together that I saw someone share on LinkedIn, which I thought it was really interesting. So the company, or like the platform that gives the least percentage to the creator is actually Roblox, with 28% that goes to creator, only 28%. So that's insane. And with Meta being the second, with 52.5% going to the creators. And I mean, you know, they all follow up with all the Web2 companies like YouTube, PlayStation, Microsoft, and they're all like, you know, in the 50 to 70% range. And then we move towards the Web3 platforms that we are, and it's like 95 and above. So with Sandbox giving 95%, Decentraland 97.5, and OpenSea is like 98, 97.5 and 98 with Looks Rare, and plus you get royalties and everything. So I believe that the industry has really shown that they're really very much creator centric. And as a creator myself in the industry, I've felt that from the very first moment. And the relationship that a lot of these platforms are having with their creators, for example, the Sandbox relationship with creators is amazing, and all of these platforms as well. So I think that that's really important to have in mind, that, you know, they have proven from the very first moment that they want to support the creators, and they want to give us a platform that where we can shine together. So that's something that I've witnessed from first moment, and I don't think it's going to be an industry standard. And one of the reasons that I was very attracted to the industry as well was because of this change, because of this revolution of value finally being given to the creator, in terms of monetization, and in terms of rights on their creations with royalties as well, which I think it's the best thing that the NFTs offer to creators.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
add. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I don't think the 47.5% is going to last very long. I don't even think, I honestly don't even think that they'll launch with that. I think that was just maybe something they put out to kind of gauge the reaction, and eventually hopefully they'll lower it. But I think that if they do try to have that sort of a fee structure, it will hurt them, because, you know, like was said earlier, you know, I think the industry standard has already been determined that the industry standard is much lower than that. So if that's the way that they want to compete in the marketplace, then I think that will not help them. Even though they have a lot of advantages over potential competitors, I think that would be a big disadvantage for them.
Yeah,
I
totally.
couldn't agree more.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to know these platforms, what they need in order to survive, and what really brings value to them is the creators. And if they don't realize that anytime soon, the competitors that have realized that are going to attract the better creators, or they're going to have more built on that. And so I think that's something that they're going to have to realize very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just indicative also of the paradigm that Meta, formerly Facebook, existed in. Like they really profited off of the cornered resource of people's eyes and time, and they were able to charge what they wanted. But like absolutely, the world of decentralization and what we're seeing on the metaverse is one that prioritizes the people who are creating the value in the ecosystem. And like on NBA Top Shot, we charge 5, and so that, you know, matching that 95% to the creator and community. And I think that absolutely will be closer to the standard, because you're just not able to corner resources the way that you were before. Those people will leave, they'll go somewhere else, and it'll be a much easier proposition. They're not going to be locked into platforms the way they were before. So hopefully Naveen's right. That was just like an initial proposition, but even if it's not and they try to go to market with it, people will go somewhere else, I think. So yeah, definitely not an industry standard from my perspective.
Yeah,
guys, I've got some. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just say, it won't surprise you. I agree with what everyone has said. I actually think it's a good move for the space, because it kind of discourages that dystopic structure, which is what we want. It's sort of truly decentralized, permissionless environment, which prioritizes users to have ownership of this. And as far as I'm concerned, let Google, Amazon, and Facebook, or Meta, whatever you want to call them, I prefer to call them Facebook, let them dominate their sort of neo-communist model, in Web2, and let them have to compete with sort of decentralized models.
Can I just say, I'm so glad that my colleagues, you've done a stellar job. This is an amazing speaker panel. I'm just going to give them a big clap. Okay. I've got tons of questions for you. What do you think of a platform, by the way? I can see you all new. What do you think of what we've created? It took us 5 years to do it. What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I've got to apologise to Meta Ruth, because she keeps inviting me to room, end up looking like a stalker in the corner, not saying anything. But that's only because if I'm at home, my kids are trying to jump on my laptop, or if I'm in the office, people are coming in. So Meta Ruth, I really apologise. At some point I'll come in and speak to you, but the platform's great. I really love it. And I was showing one of my colleagues at work earlier on, trying to get him involved in it as well. Yeah, it's great. What you've done is brilliant. I love the space.
Ladies, what do you think of the platform, huh? Can I get your opinion?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I absolutely love it. I was actually introduced to it by a really good friend of mine here in the audience, Joy. Shout out to you.
Joy, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a darling. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, excellent. Thanks.
Yeah, so ever since she told me about it, I've just been exploring, but really didn't have much time to really explore further. But it's amazing, honestly. And as you said, it is the first time that we have a social networking platform like this, where it's just all interactive and you have the stage and everything. It's really cool. I love it.
Well, we've got 5 different interfaces to replicate, all sorts of in real life scenarios for interactions. So, we're certainly moving now into Web3 space. You can log in on the platform using your wallets. It's Ethereum blockchain, etc. Lane, what do you think of our platform, right?
Yeah, absolutely love it. It's really cool to get the real life aspect of seeing who's sitting and who's grouping together and who's going to have a conversation afterwards. And this is also my first time on the platform, but I've really loved it so far, and just love sort of there's a room full of people again. I think we've all really missed that since being in lockdown. So it's super cool, really great work. And it takes a long time to build a product like this, so props to you guys, because it is no small task.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, thank you. I would love to connect with all of you. It's such an amazing panel of speakers. I just want to, again, say thank you to my colleagues, and thank you for all, everyone, people like Joy that invited such an amazing people to experience what we have created. I feel like I can't wait any longer. Spottie WiFi, your music. I mean, I'd like to see your art. Can we do that?
Yeah,
any of my colleagues about?
We can definitely do that. Can you guys hear me okay? I just put in headphones that I think will make it better.
It's like you're sitting right in front of me right now. I need to put my headphones, sorry, because Mike is asleep as well. Let me see.
Spottie, I'm ready whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah. So just to give a little quick introduction, this song was my introduction to the world of this character, Spottie WiFi, that I developed, and I didn't really explain it before, but the spot. If you see my CryptoPunk's face, he has spots on his face. That's actually the trait that makes him rare out of the CryptoPunks. There's 10,000 CryptoPunks, only 124 have spots. So that is why I call him Spottie Pippin, aka Spottie WiFi. And this song is really his introduction to the world.
And by the way, guys, if you want to see our speakers better, use your fingers to enlarge the image on your screen, just like you would do with the photographs or something. So 2 fingers, enlarge it, and you can see very clearly that Spottie's avatar, it's got spots on it. Amazing.
Yes, sir. So with that into it.
Come on, I'm ready to dance.
Yes, sir.
Yes, come.
I want to thank the whole Connect Club for inviting me out. I love to see you guys dancing around. This is beautiful. Check it out. Look, I'm Spottie. I got lots of spots. Your girl wanna come play connect the dots. I'm Spottie. I'm on the block. Sick with it, looking like chicken pox. I'm Spottie. Last name Pippin. Stock going up, and I ain't tripping. I ain't bullshitting, I'm a crypto punk. You're a crypto kitten, I'm Spottie. Straight out of Lava Labs, it's the crypto punk with the gift to gab. Now they getting mad, 5528. You know the vibes when I rob, plenty hate. Many naysay, and they try and doubt them. For that payday, I'll reset your router, unplug the modem. Now they on my scrotum, they don't care I'm ugly. I already told them. And I flow like a top shot. About to blow when I'm coming for that top spot. Half shaved albinos giving top. And you know I do not flop. Switching lanes in a Lambo drop top. Proof of work, getting fresh air, drop. No roof, so no, I can't hot box. Take the show on the road like a hot spot. I got lots of spots. Your girl wanna come play connect the dots. I'm Spottie. I'm on the block. Sick with it, looking like chicken pox. I'm Spottie. My last name Pippin. Stock going up, and I ain't tripping. I'm Spottie. I ain't bullshitting, I'm a crypto punk, you're a crypto kid, and I'm Spottie. And I'm just keeping it real. So fresh, no blemish, but I'm looking like Braille. And this is checkers, not chess. I like a girl with some freckles on the chest. Spottie clean cut, keep no clown hair. She wanna know if I got spots down there. Tip my cap and reply like a diplomat. Said I got more spots than a twister mat. So go ahead, switch the style up. If they hate, let them hate, stack sats pile up. My crib polka dotted from the tile up. I'm quick witted and you slower than a dial up. Spottie Wi-Fi, teach the whole nation. I'm a dog 101 Dalmatians. Animated but never artificial. I am what I am, that's on every pixel. I got lots of spots. Your girl wanna come play connect the dots. I'm on the block, sick with it, looking like chicken pox. My last name Pippin, stock going up, and I ain't tripping. I ain't bullshitting, I'm a crypto punk. You're a crypto kid, and I'm Spottie. Yes, sir. Hey, no disrespect to the crypto kitties, by the way. It's all love. I was just about to say, what did you just say? All love. Thank you all for letting me perform and introduce myself. I appreciate the opportunity and the platform.
So, hold on, can I just ask you something? What equipment have you been using now? Because yeah, go on, sorry.
Well, I have a producer that actually creates all the music, and then I just do for that album that I sold in August. He lives in Chicago, I live in Miami, so he would send me the instrumentals, the music, and then I would record in my home studio with just my microphone and my laptop and a very basic setup.
You've just got a laptop and a microphone right now, so that's what you've just used.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a little more to it than that. There's a little mixer device that lets the microphone talk to the laptop, but I don't make the music. So for me, it's a very, very basic setup.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Sorry, because for the Connect.Club, I may have to borrow your sort of a brain how you've done it, because some of the Hispanic performance want to find out how they can do. Yeah, how we can do the live performance, don't they?
Oh, for the performance? I'm sorry, I thought you meant for recording. For the performance, very simple. I'm literally using an old pair of Apple wired headphones, earbuds, Apple earbuds plugged into my iPhone. That way the music is coming into my ears. The music isn't playing out of my phone speaker. It's coming straight directly into my ears, and I'm just rapping into the microphone.
Simple as that. So listen, Meta Ruth, then if Nuestra Musica, if those guys want to, because we've got a choice, either pre-recorded or live, and some performers want to do live. First tune they want to do live, and second tune they want to do pre-recorded. So we just need to advise them. Is it all right if we can talk about it at some other time? Sorry.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you that.
Okay, I connected with him. Just so. All right, cool. All right.
No, I
get here, and that is where I am asking for your guys' assistance in getting them to my metaverse, so that I can get more of the communities to
I'm,
come into the Connect Club.
I'm happy to have a chat with you to find out exactly what can be done and who could be the right
Surely, sure.
partners for you potentially. Thank you for your question. Appreciate
Fantastic.
it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, if nobody has got any questions for our speakers, I know we went 6 minutes over the time. I hope you're okay with that, guys.
Yeah, gotta hop off now, but thanks so much for hosting and thanks for having us. It was really great to meet everybody on the panel and the organizers and everybody in the crowd. So I'm so excited to see more folks come to the metaverse.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for being here. Let's see each other very soon. And
Surely.
Next time in Miami, I need to send a note to Spottie WiFi. You've got some crazy people in Miami, Spottie. Well, what's going on? I was like, it was mad. That NFT Miami was mad.
Oh, you never lied, man. You never lied. It's always eventful here.
Do you know what? I actually tried to behave myself. I was like in bed by 12 o'clock because I was doing a lot of networking, and the NFT Miami was such a great show. Were you there?
Yeah, I was at NFT Week Miami, and then I was at NFT Con. But yeah, it was a lot. There were like 3 conferences going on at once. Bitcoin conference. It was too much, really, to be honest.
Yeah. I stayed there for the Miami bit, NFT Miami, and I left afterwards. But yeah, Bitcoin was going after. But no, it's such a amazing Windward. It's so great, huh? Knowing what it used to be and what is now, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an exciting time here for sure. Crypto is obviously very popular. It's an exciting time. It's an expensive time, but an exciting time.
Yeah. Fatemi, we also want to thank you for being with us. Thank you for all your insight. Definitely keen to continue our conversations. Would love to learn about your experience with DAO, if that's okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd love to share what I know about it as well, honestly. And it's just always a battle of what do you bring to your DAO and what decisions are brought to your community to be made. And I'm definitely happy to dive into that further on later.
But you've done it. It's workable DAO now, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really full on because we have two pillars of what we do. So like the B2B projects are done in a very centralized manner because we just kind of realized that it wasn't going to be manageable within the DAO. But then our other projects, in terms of like NFT collections, those are done with the DAO.
Isn't it bizarre? It's obviously it's just a general observation. Mm-hmm. I had a few people that approached us, spoke to me, and say, "Look, yeah, we can create DAO for you." And by the way, guys, if you need to go, feel free. And but I'm just enjoying the conversation. But you know what? When I asked them, "Why don't you connect me with your clients that have a workable DAO?" It all came down to the same answer. Like people were saying, like we're still working on certain bits and that. Do you know anyone that's got workable DAO that's been, or is it still kind of a new concept?
It's still kind of a new concept, mm-hmm. And for us as well, it's really hard because it takes a lot of onboarding. So a lot of the creators that we're working with and a lot of the designers come from a very traditional background. So I mean, for me to go to them and be like, from now on, you're going to be rewarded in tokens based on your contribution to the community. They're just going to be like, what are you on about, right? So it's a lot of onboarding and it's a lot of work that needs to be put into getting your community ready for incorporating as a DAO full on. So I think that it's just like, I think it's beautiful that we're trying that and we're starting the journey. And I think it just you have to start somewhere, right? And obviously it's not a perfect technology, and we don't really there are a lot of tools that are coming out right now that help you manage your DAO and voting and everything. So those tools are amazing and they've really made it a lot easier compared to what it was. But yeah, I mean, I think there's still a lot of room for improvement in terms of managing DAOs, and I think the most important part is actually onboarding. So getting the community to understand what it means, and yeah.
How long it's taking you to get this far?
Well, 6 months.
6 months. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Some people say they can do it really fast, real quick, and so obviously that's not the case. I'm a bit skeptical.
No, I mean, honestly, you could
like...
literally do it in like 5 minutes. Like you would just go on one of these platforms, create a DAO in 5 minutes. It really is super easy. But I mean, for it to really work, then that just takes a lot more effort, you know. So like the actual technical difficulties are not that much. Like you have a lot of
It's a legal matter, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, legal matters definitely important. And then the second part is actually like, because it's all about the community, right? You're empowering your community to make decisions that would affect the business overall. So you need to make sure that they're ready for that, and you need to decide what you bring to the community. So for example, like one of the evil and good thing that I like to compare is actually Decentraland and the Sandbox. And Decentraland is a fully decentralized platform, and Sandbox is not decentralized. Sandbox is very centralized right now. They're hoping to implement the decentralization soon, but as of right now, they're a centralized platform, and I think that actually worked in their favor. And as a creator myself, I'm happy with that, because being centralized, they managed to make decisions really fast, and they managed to update the platform and the game maker that they're developing really fast. Whereas with Decentraland, every time you want to make an update or anytime you have a claim or anything, you have to put it to the DAO and it goes to voting. And the process is just very lengthy, and it's not as fast, let's say. Like they're not as effective in terms of updating the platform or updating tools for creators. So I think to some extent it helps to stay decentralized, and to some extent it helps to be decentralized. So finding that balance of like what decisions you bring to your community and what are the things that you want to keep in a centralized way, I think is really important too, because a fully decentralized organization as well, I think it's a bit too chaotic, and I don't think we're ready for it.
Thank you very much. You're still based in Madrid then?
Yeah, in Madrid, yeah.
Yeah. I was just checking my LinkedIn. We are actually connected. That would be great. Okay. Well, I will definitely reach out to you. Once again, thank you for being a speaker.
Yeah.
So delighted that we have met.
Same. Yeah. Thank you. And I
you
love
had a
that there's
pleasant
also
experience.
Wonk here in the audience. Farah, nice to meet you, and would love to get connected to you on the Wonk Discord. Awesome. Well, thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you talking to Farah?
No, yeah, I there's also Wonk, the PFP that I have. It's an amazing community, and I'm so excited to see another Wonk. So cool.
Farah keeps changing her profile picture.
Okay.
You know, I don't know where I'm coming or going sometimes with Farah. You know, she's got so many different profile pictures. They're changing on the fly. By the way, you can see you can change it like as you speak. So yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, just tap on her avatar, and then next to Farah's photo, you know, the picture PFP will be a connect button, so you guys can get connected.
Awesome, we're connected. That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, dokie. All right, then. Well, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you again for being here, and I want to thank everyone that participated as a listeners. And I want to thank my colleagues as well for a wonderful job. This was a great panel. Thank you, guys.